staying, and well, the dancing is over. Let's catch up of what's coming up online and the newspapers. Behind us, we have the My Joy Online portal, and so let's find out what it says. Remain thankful despite challenges. Maker's House Overseer. That's exactly what I was trying to say this morning. That, you know, despite you still have to, you know, enjoy the day.
In spite of.
And in spite
you
of.
see, and if you, like me, waking up this morning grumbling, let me remind you that the devil is even shocked that you're alive. Despite all that you have done during the year, God still spared you and given you life. So, yes, I think that's what keeps us going as Ghanaians.
Definitely.
We are always thankful. We joke with everything. That's why we still have peace.
We find the funny side of everything. Let's go on to the next story. What does it say? GCB presents 300,000 to customer, Mrs. Owusu Mayfair, customer of the Tantra Hills branch of GCB Bank Limited, who emerged as the overall winner of the GCB Big Money promo, was on Wednesday night. Now that is it's a good Christmas. 300,000. Mrs. Mayfair must be smiling all the way to the bank, as they say. Let's look at the next one. Oh, now that's a terrible one. Building collapses in China, landslides. Some 22 buildings have collapsed in a landslide at an industrial park in the southern Chinese city of Shenzhen. Now that's what I say. We are so lucky in this country. And we never have some of these extreme...
We are not lucky, we are blessed.
Blessed.
Because we are beyond lucky.
I think so.
We are beyond lucky, we are blessed.
So. Let's look at the next headline. Now I was here. Government commissions the rehabilitated Adome Bridge. And yes, indeed, we were very, very happy. I mean, those of us in Akwamu and those from the Volta region, this is basically our main link for traveling. And obviously, March, I think 22 years ago, 14th of March, the bridge was closed down because it had to be refurbished or rehabilitated, and therefore we had to use the ferry. And if you've ever traveled, maybe on a Friday or on payday, and especially on payday ends on a Friday, that's worse. Everybody seems...
It's a long queue that you won't, you know, you won't find it funny at all. But you know what? Let me tell you, when I was little, my favorite Christmas period was when my father used to bring me to Circle to look at the Christmas lights. Now, if you are bored of or you are tired of doing the same thing over and over again this Christmas period, drive your children at night to the Adome Bridge, or go there during the day and stay till night and see how the bridge has been lighted. It's amazing. I mean, this one, kudos to those who did it. It's so beautiful. We're driving back from Idumasa last night, and the view is just amazing. It's something that the children will cherish for the rest of their lives.
So we're driving, and I said, well, Illuminati Adome Bridge. So I was like, well, why have they written that? I said, well, that's what it looks like. So, do you know what Illuminati is? I said, well, the bridge is illuminated. What do you expect? Let's look at the next story. 2.5 million.
Oh, and before you moved on, please, who was the first person to drive the king of Akwemu on that bridge after it was opened?
Isn't that a strange one to go into history?
Who was?
Well, you were, my dear.
Thank you very much.
You were, my
dear. Okay, now we can move on.
$2.5 million. Ghana gas debt could be plunged. Well, Ghana gas owes 2.5 could plunge the country into darkness. Now, basically, Ghana Gas is saying that they are owed about $2.5 million. And isn't it amazing? Because now Car Power wants the gas, Atwabu wants the gas, and so they're going to say, look, if VRA is not going to give us this money, we can give you the gas. Nigeria is also being a bit iffy, so where do we go with all our badges who are depending on these guys who are saying, look, you need to give us money? Now, this 2.5 million, they need to pay insurance, because without insurance, they can operate. And 31st December, the insurance runs out. And so we need to, between now and then, maybe Mrs. Mayfair could give us some of the 300,000, you know. Mrs. Mayfair give us some of the 300,000.
On another note, I mean, I think as a people, we're getting tired and fed up with the various excuses given why we've already been plunged into darkness.
Well, this is further darkness.
Further darkness. We're tired of it. Now, maybe the last person, as the headline was years ago in UK in front of the banner headline in front of the Mirror newspaper. The last person to leave the country should switch off the light. They should just switch it off and then we'll all go find somewhere, because we are tired of excuses every single time. The reasons seems to change post. Today is money, tomorrow is gas, the next it's the water, the next, I mean, you still can't get the head and tail of it. I mean, what is next? We are paying too much now, almost 60% increase. What has this one got to do with us?
Well, they need insurance, and without insurance as a gas processing plant, they cannot operate, and it runs out 31st of this month, but I'm sure somehow we'll find the money.
And when they were setting up, didn't they know that it had to be insured?
Well, they've already insured it, but the insurance is running out. But they're saying that nothing, they don't see anything coming from anywhere to say that, look, we need to renew the insurance. So they are telling us that, hello, you need to get the insurance set, because otherwise we can't operate, can't get people in a gas plant without any insurance. So let's wait and see.
Well, the last person to go to bed should switch off the light, because we'll one day wake up, total darkness.
Full speech, Akufo-Addo's MPP 15th Extraordinary Delegates Conference. We're not going to read that. Let's go to the next story. Manasseh's folder. Now, if you haven't read Manasseh's stories, you must get, I mean, he is a fantastic writer, good sense of humor, that has really, you know, weird in a good way angles of approaching stories.
What a triangle. Say Mourinho, John Mahama, and Osama bin Laden. I mean, seriously. Manasseh, seriously. You know, but you need to read it. Don't take the headline, you know, as it is. Read it and you get the sense of, you see, you get the import of the message. You know, that's the mistake that we make as a people. See the headline and then we jump to conclusion. And we seem to believe everything and anything, even if it's satirical, even if there's sarcasm in there, even we seem to believe everything. No wonder we are being taken for granted, but we need to be serious and read and understand what it's all about.
Next story. $3.6 million branding exposed. Government fleecing operandi. And obviously, I mean, you could use some of that 3.6 million to ensure that the gas.
How much do they need? 2.5, right?
They need 2.5, but they need $2.5 million. So,
okay.
and this is cedi. So probably, you know, we're a few million short, and then we could probably insure it. But that was the biggest news and the shocking news to end the year with. And I hope, I mean, the Julius Deborah has issued, you know, a directive that by tomorrow, Tuesday, he wants the full disclosure on his desk.
You said that's the biggest story. The year hasn't ended. Nobody knows what is next.
I don't think anything. I don't think anything is going to beat this one. I don't think we can beat this one. I'll leave the newspapers to you.
All right. Daily Graphic says President reopens Adomi Bridge. Ghana's bridge, the Adomi Bridge, was reopened to traffic last Saturday after 12 months of rehabilitation works. It was more than 12 months, really. And that's the Daily Graphic front page. And when you go to Daily Guide, we have Kufuor predicts 56% for Nana. Former President John Ajekun Kufuor has stated that the grounds are fertile for Nana Akufo-Addo to win 56% of the valid votes in the year 2016 election to restore hope to the country. What do you expect? That's his party. But as they say, agroni firm. So let's see how they'll be able to close ranks and see if they can do it. The Finder. I know that's one of your favorite papers.
That's my favorite paper.
TUC declares demo strike to enforce reduction in utility tariffs. The General Council of the Ghana Trades Union Congress, TUC, has unanimously voted to embark on demonstrations and ultimately declare a strike to press home their demand for a reduction in recently announced water and electricity tariffs.
I like this one. Ambassadors told to tell Ghanaian story.
Which is? What is the Ghana story? Ghanaian story. What is the Ghanaian story?
It's a bit of doom, and a bit of and a bit of doom, you know.
But I like the TUC, you know, they need to be more proactive. I mean, they should have gone on the demonstration. They should have voiced out, I mean, loudly before, I mean, this thing took effect. But
I'm glad,
better later than
I'm glad you're
never.
saying before, you see, because once we've gotten the badges in at whichever contract that we have to pay for them. And I keep saying that we are buying 10 different power plants. At the moment, we know of 2, the Car Power and the Ameri. But nobody seems to be bothered about the other 8. What's in the contract of the other 8? And we're waiting for some Norwegian to come and write another story, but hey, we have to press on.
We have to press on, but I like Daluta. I like Daluta. Business and Financial Times, it says, mobile money users double in 12 months. That's a report. A New World Bank report on financial inclusion has found out that the number of Ghanaian adults with active mobile money accounts has doubled in the past year and now stands at 17% of the adult population. And I wonder what the banks are doing, what they think about it, because it's easier. It's easier. You just send the money and it's gone. So people are more comfortable with that.
See, me, I have a radical idea of a cashless society, or probably maybe 30% cash society. And I'm saying that once mobile money has used the platform, we have to encourage it, because there's too much cash that seem to evade the system, if I may say, and therefore they don't pay tax. But if everybody has to use mobile money, even the coconut seller can hide it, because they'll just tap into your number and you pay your due tax. It's something that has to be encouraged, but the banks are missing
There's an advert on radio and TV where the guy, somebody says, but the man didn't pay the kinky for the kinky. Said, oh, he paid for it with the mobile money, you know. So
it should be
maybe
encouraged.
we'll get there.
Let's see what City FM online. What's their story?
We have called here CPA suit against utility tariff hikes. A Blackrock floors former MP to win North Tongue. No wonder he was looking exciting yesterday. It was Saturday. He was at at Timpoku for the opening of the reopening of the bridge. Baumia rubbishes Mohammed's achievements, and then NPP's campaign structure for 2016 election unveiled. Those are some of the headlines on City FM.
Talking about Ugandan, the story is not here though. This is Ugandan.
It's here, Ugandan musician, 28, with 68-year-old Swedish bride.
No, I'm talking about the lady that was
the video
stripped,
that is making round. Yeah.
You know, and I find out we've been very quiet about it. The media enclave is being silent. I haven't heard anything from AU. I haven't searched, but I haven't heard anything from you. But I thought something really strong would have come up. Now this is a female politician on their way to go and do a campaign, and obviously the state is not happy with it, so they block their convoy, take this woman out of their car, strip them naked, handcuff them, and Africa is quiet.
And these are female opposition leaders.
Yeah.
Actually, let's say that it's alleged. That's what the story making the ground says. And I spoke to, over the weekend, I spoke to one of our partners at African Women's Development Fund. You know, they are across Africa, and they are gender activist and feminist group. So I spoke to one of them, Abigail Begesing, who says she's contacted Uganda. And it seems there's some truth in it, but they don't get the full picture. So I guess today we'll get to hear more about it. Other gender activists are going to have a press conference based on what has really happened, whether it's true or not. Because it's a shame. It's a blot on Africa.
I take it, let's say they were even fraudsters.
Right.
That's where I'm taking it from. They were breaking the law. I mean, where lies the explanation? Naked, adult women, and handcuffed?
Yeah.
And this is Africa.
And you could tell that it's one of the security officers who filmed it.
Yeah.
And you could hear that person, unfortunately, you could hear the voice of a woman laughing. Don't say women. Not all women believe in women, you know, and not all men don't believe in women, you know. So it's a shame, and I think we need to really take it up. And I'm sure Joy News Channel today will do some calls and find out the truth about it. And we need to shout. We need to make, because it's total madness. When next door, Tanzania, it's doing amazingly well, and Africa has been shut up the map, world map again, then we'll have these things happening.
Rwanda is getting, you know, good proportion of women representation in the parliament.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such an embarrassment. And you know what Africa was talking about during the same period? Mourinho had left Chelsea. For
that
us,
was what was trending.
That was trending. For us, it was more important. I just wish we get to a point where we say, no. We look after our own first, after we can look after others. But it's difficult. It's difficult. But it really broke my heart last week. I just thought it was.
And somebody made a comment that even Zimbabwe will not do this to women. I don't know what you make up.
Even what?
Zimbabwe will not do this to women.
Can you imagine?
You know, even Zimbabwe will not do this to women.
I'm not sure Mugabe will be happy with that. But hey, let's see BBC Africa News. ICC, well, you're good.
Okay,
reader.
ICC transfers war criminals to DRC. The International Criminal Court transfers two former Congolese militia leaders to a prison in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And then we also have, will trials bring peace to DR Congo's Ituri region, too rich for its own good. It goes on. Then we also have, which one?
I'm interested in that
okay,
story.
all
that
right.
Story.
Okay, Rwandan vote allows Kagame to extend term. How many years will he be clocking now?
Now you see, let's go up to see what the story says.
Okay. It says Rwandans have voted overwhelmingly to allow President Paul Kagame to extend his term in office. Initial referendum results show some 98% of voters support changing the constitution to allow him to run again in 2017 after his second term ends. The National Electoral Commission says Mr. Kagame, 58, could remain in power until 2034. If the changes are passed.
Now let me comment on that. You see, because somehow this side of the world, we are stuck into this 4-year cycle. And so whether a leader is good or not, your time is up, go out. And the mess in which we are here, and our mess is mainly sometimes is more up there than, infrastructure. So you need a stable leader to fix things. Look, you go to the UK and they will keep voting and voting for their leader until such time they don't want him anymore. But you come here and say, 4 years, your time is up, go. 4 years. So every 2 years they are preparing for the next campaign.
On. In UK, they vote for the party, not the leader. Yep. So even if they vote for the party and within that period, the party changes its leader, somebody else is just the same party but different personality. I mean, wisdom does not lie in one person's head. No one has monopoly over wisdom. So
But 4 years is ridiculously short for this part of the world.
I totally disagree with that.
4 years
I
is too
totally
short.
disagree with
4
that.
years. What can you change in 4 years? It took them 2 years to build a bridge.
I like that.
That's not even rehabilitation.
Somebody else could have
supervised.
Let
alone from Savelugu to Axim. You need time.
Somebody else could have supervised, but to allow, and quite recently they had a meeting, AU meeting, and they were all voted. The leaders agreed that there wasn't going to be any third term for any African leaders. But anyway, that's AU. People can agree and disagree, and I mean, decide. But this is ridiculous, honestly.
No, it's
this
not.
is ridiculous.
This guy is doing well. This guy has turned Rwanda into something else.
The only Ugandan, the Rwandan who can do well, he's not the only one. When we go by democratic
if it's not broken, why are you changing it? Why do you want to fix it?
Then they should say that it's not democracy. They are going back.
But then what is democracy? Democracy doesn't mean 14 years. I mean, I run a democracy in Eduma, so nobody's going to change me. But it's a democracy. Everybody, has their rule. And as you were frustrated yesterday, why is he doing this? Why? Well, it's his office. He can do that. You see, because as a chief, I cannot elect the Mbrantihine. It's the Mankrado who elects Mbrantihine, even though he's coming to work for me. So I'm stuck without Mbrantihine. He has to find me one. You see, and that's a democracy.
You see,
otherwise, I would have said, well, forget it. I'm going to get my own Mbrantihine.
They have voted for democracy. Government for the people, by the people. And they already have a constitution that has worked over the years, that every leader comes in for a 4-year term, renewable for another 4-year term. The fact that,
you see, all these things have been brought to us by these Westerners.
But we bought into it.
We shouldn't. And so that's why these guys have said, no, forget it. We're not buying it.
In Africa, unfortunately, we know that, there's this joke that goes on that in Africa, we know the outcome of results before. And if you have leader like Paul Kagame, yes, he's good, but he has his, negative sides as well. I mean, I would never endorse this kind. But hey, I'm a Ghanaian. They are Rwandans. Says the poll says, and this is what leads. These are some of the things that leads to the revolts that we have over the civil wars and the conflicts that we have in other countries. The people voted for you for a term. It's time for you to go. You go. You change over.
The lack of leadership on this continent. If you're lucky to find one, you hang on to it.
No.
Yes, you hang on to it. Why is another
then
story?
He's a failed leader because he's not groomed anybody to take over from
he hasn't finished grooming the person yet. Give him time to groom the person.
Anyway, let's move on to the next story. I know you're not good in football, but let's do a little bit of sports. And let's look at Che open to playing for Ghana at senior level. That's the sports. And we hope that he sticks to that, and we find it because he's been identified to be a very good player. We seems to be recycling our players over and over again. Every now and then we need some new young ones bringing energy to challenge the old players, not old as in terms of age, but those who've been playing for a long time, to challenge them to up their game a bit, because we are not too exciting on the international platform yet.
Okay, let me catch up with a couple of messages that you've been sending in. And this one says, to be truly successful, you have to know what you are really good at and then find ways to apply your skills and create value. Good morning. And share. It says, shares this, but you did not add your name. And this one says, well done, Nana. The wife from Matthew Mbowini from Nkwanta South. I don't get that. Are you from Nkwanta South?
No.
This one says, wow, it's a royal couple affair. Perfect match. Kudos. And this is Prasani. And then let me go to this one. This one says, what a nice couple, Gifty, my role model. I'm really dying to see her. You didn't add your name. This one says, this is the one who was not happy with us. It says, have you come to dance for us with a really surprised face? From Chemical in Konya. We stopped dancing, haven't we? It was only to wake you up. It was only to wake you up. This one says, can we see the end of Doom so as promised by the Power Minister, Kwabena Donko? It's the rebranding of Mahama Base's topmost priority. This is Kusi Ejusu Bibiase. Let me catch a couple before we quickly go for a break. This one says, the MPP troubles are over now. I can feel victory in 2016. But Gifty and Nana, you are too much. From Mutala Suruzu in Wale Wale. One of these days, because I have a lot of fans up there. I need to go there because they really PM Express fans, and I need to go up and visit.
I'll take you there from Wa to wherever. I'll take you. I know all the corners and
all the places.
I know all the places.
I don't.
So I'll take you there.
This one says, good morning, family. Whatever you be good at it. Whatever you will be good at it. This is Ahomka, and it's an inspiration. Last one. There is a purpose for everything. The closure of the Adome Bridge led to the speedy reconstruction of the whole Adidome Road, which we are now enjoying. Christopher from Adakuru.
Well, before we go, I don't know if you've seen it if it's on Joy News website, My Joy Online. Gifty Ando Apia, yes, multi TVs. Gifty Ando Apia was at the BBC, I think, on Saturday, and she has some amazing pictures. I saw it on social media, Facebook, and other social media platforms. So she's not running away, she'll come back. But I thought it was very exciting. And then there's a picture of Nana Nsakwa, making Nana Nsakwa shaking hands with the president during the reopening of the Adome Bridge. Well, the president was telling him that he hasn't finished paying his dowries, and I agree, especially for waking me up this morning. So he needs to pay up.
President says I owe Akunta dues and I have to come and pay.
Well, we take a short break. We'll be back.